So I was in my early 20s building my manufacturing company. My business is starting to grow. We just opened up an office in Hong Kong. We hired our first employee. Her name was Circle. And for the first 6 months or so, Circle and I, we never met. We just connect over good old-fashioned phone calls. I mean, this was before the times of Zoom and Google Meet. And on my first trip over to China to finally meet Circle, I wanted to be hyper-intentional about making the most of our limited time together. You see, I didn't want to just visit factory partners and take care of business as usual, but I thought, what if I bring Circle with me so I can get to know her better? And I didn't realize it then, but this one simple decision would be the rocket fuel to take my business to the next level. And on the flight over, I'm thinking, how do I make sure that by the end of this trip, I deeply understand who Circle is? That by the end of this trip, I understand Circle's motivations for wanting to help build my company. And most importantly, that I understand what's most important to Circle. 16 hours later, I land in China and we're off to the races. We go to our first factory visit. We have the most incredible meeting. And at the end, I tell Circle I want to go and eat the local style food. I thought, what an incredible way to understand who she is and what's most important to her. So we sit down at this local spot. Circle orders the food. I'm sitting there. I'm tired. I'm hungry, jet lagged, but excited. I'm thinking dumplings for breakfast. I mean, this is my first meal in China, and I'm like, I tell Circle, baby back ribs, sesame chicken, pork fried rice, mushu, bring on all the good stuff. I wanted a full-blown feast. A couple minutes later, in the waiter walks, he puts this plate down on the table, and I'm looking at it, trying to figure out what it is, and I have no idea. I pick it up, I smell it, smells like food, and I turn to Circle and say, Circle, what is it? She says, local style. I said, yeah, but Circle, what is it? She says, duck head. Now, I don't know if any of you have ever eaten a duck's head before, assuming not by the noise. But it's not exactly protein rich. You hold it by the beak. That's what the aluminum foil is for. And you kind of like munch the little bit of meat that's on it. And I asked Circle, I said, Circle, do you like eating this? She said, it's so-so. And I said, okay, if I'm willing to try it, are you? She laughed. She said, of course. And we spent that afternoon eating duck's head, connecting and getting to know one another more. And that was the entree, by the way. But she did order me the biggest bowl of fried rice, which was delicious. And of course, it's not about the duck head, but it was about the moment that said, I want to understand who you are. And I didn't sit there grilling Circle with questions. I simply went first and just started sharing what I was building, what I was excited about, even what I was nervous about. And that created space for Circle to follow. And for the remainder of that trip, whenever we sat down for a meal, we'd order the local style food and we'd talk about life outside of work, our cultures, our traditions, our hobbies, our families, our passions. But it didn't stop there. Those conversations opened the door to life inside work as well. Circle began to open up about her skill set, the strengths she wanted to put to work, the skills she wanted to develop, the relationships she wanted to nurture. And fortunately for all of you, you probably don't have to go and eat a duck's head to start to understand your people. But understand this, the more deeply you understand your people, the more committed they'll be. In my 8 years of building the business, Circle was by far my most loyal employee. She'd come in on weekends not because she had to, but because she wanted to. Over the years, she was responsible for millions in sales and growth, and she'd often share with colleagues and coworkers how being understood made a material difference in how she showed up.